Y'all, the knives are sharpening. The mainline Democrats, the establishment Democrats, you know, the ones with all the money, wealth, and connections and the whole DNC behind them, yeah, they're going after the politicians on the left. The far left progressives, the AOCs, the Bernie Sanders, the Zoran Mamdanis, the Graham Plattners in Maine. Make no mistake, it's happening, and I'm going to walk you through the entire thing right now, complete with all the receipts linked in the description box below. And if you guys see what I'm seeing here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on if you are willing to line up and defeat the ilk of which we're about to highlight, because this is going to be the next big move. This fight inside the left is going to be a thing. Watch this, because two different leaders last night just nuked the far left from orbit and basically said they have no future in the Democrat Party. Guys, this is going to be a thing. All right, let's get right into this. Make sure you follow me on X at BradenLOA. I'm not going to bury the lead. Let's dive right in. Do you remember when I did this video about what progressives keep getting it wrong? Yeah, that was in the Politico. This one is in the Atlantic, using the exact same guy. The Atlantic and the Politico are all to the far left. They're used by the Democrats to float trial balloons and communicate with other Democrats. That's what they do. It's not a question, it is how they operate. However, what they don't typically do is what I'm about to show you. They don't typically have the House Minority Leader come out and openly say that socialism is not the way to do it a day before the election of two socialists. I'm just saying, guys, watch this. I've got even more lined up. I think I am over the target here. Let me see those planes in the comments. Let's go.
For mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani, do you see Mamdani as the future of the Democratic Party?
No, I think the future of the Democratic Party is going to fall, as far as we're concerned, relative to the House Democratic Caucus and members who are doing a great work all across the country as it relates to our need to both take back control of the House, but in doing so, make sure that we're communicating to the American people like we understand you deserve better.
For mayoral candidate.
That was a lot of gobbledygook, but that's not the important part. The part after all that where he kind of tried to make the answer, I don't care about that. That wasn't the answer. It's not the important part anyway. The important part is that the House Minority Leader of the Democrats just openly said in a question, is socialism the future of the country, the day before an election in New York City for the mayor, of which someone he endorsed, no, socialism is not the future of our party. Has someone told AOC and Bernie Sanders and the entire Progressive Caucus? Because they sure seem to think so. Again, this is the whole split that I'm telling you about. This happened the day before this election. That would be one thing on a blip on a radar. Now let's go to the next one. John Fetterman did the same thing on the same network, talking to the same guy yesterday. Again, all of this happened right before this election. Listen to John Fetterman. Again, I'm not making this stuff up. It's all right here.
There are big elections on Tuesday, obviously coast to coast. In New Jersey and Virginia and California, there's a referendum on redistricting. In New York City, polls show that the Democratic nominee Zoran Mamdani is in the lead for the mayor's race. You've previously dismissed him as, quote, not even a Democrat, and it is true he's a Democratic socialist. Do you think it would be a mistake for New Yorkers to elect him as mayor? Would you vote for Cuomo if you were a New Yorker, or Sliwa?
No, that's going to be New York's voice. Socialism is not the future of my party, and if that's going to be their future, that's really up to New York City to decide those things. You know, we all know how socialism works out. Ask anybody that's lived under those kinds of systems all across the globe. But for me, as a Democrat, as a committed Democrat, I might disagree in some areas, much like shutting down our government or other areas now. But for me, as a committed Democrat, I'm going to push back and announce people that this is wrong. And now we are hurting the very people that we fight for. And now we're getting nothing for them if we continue to keep our government shut down.
Now, of course, he threw in a little bit of cherry on top, saying that Democrats were causing the government shutdown and we're hurting people that we claim to care about. But you know what? According to the Republican scuttlebutt, that's going to be over on Thursday at 12:15. If you saw the previous two videos yesterday, you know what I'm referencing. But now that's two different individuals inside the Democratic Party with pretty big, broad name recognition, openly saying, not a chance is socialism part of the future of the Democratic Party. Well, you kind of got socialist candidates who are calling themselves socialist candidates about to be elected in New York City. So if you're going to endorse them like Hakeem Jeffries did, but then you're going to say that the future of the Democrat Party is not socialist whatsoever, have you told them? Because they think that it is. And so if you've got people who are getting elected in the far left-leaning deep blue states like New York, Illinois, California, and then the rest of the Democrats across the nation aren't down with socialism, as all the polling suggests, you're going to find yourself in quite a pickle, which is why you've seen all of these things. All of these articles saying progressives need to stop falling in love with far left candidates. John Fetterman saying that, hey, socialism is not part of our future. And Hakeem Jeffries, who's saying socialism is not part of our future. Guys, the split on this is going to be epic when it finally becomes more volatile. Because it's their own survival. You just saw Chris Cuomo last night saying that go ahead and leave the Democrat Party because you're not Democrats anyway. Guys, cracks are showing up everywhere. You want some more cracks? Watch this. This is Sarah Silverman. She's a leftist. Listen to what she says about the Democrat Party. Again, something that we've been saying. Let's get it.
Republicans know the difference between right and wrong in general. Like, they know what they're doing. Something is, I don't know. But the left, it's just, I find it ironic. The left, I'm on the left. But like, I find in general, the party that is about inclusivity is incredibly elitist. Just fucking say, join us. Yes, come, join us. Yes.
I find it extra ironic that the person she's talking to is Jimmy Kimmel, who is the ultimate Democrat elitist. But anyway, other than that, even their stars, their celebrities who are committed to left-wing causes are going, there's a problem. We won't talk to anybody because we have purity tests. We won't talk to anybody because we're elitist. At the same time, I showed you an article last night, yesterday morning, showing you that they've lost the working class because of all the culture war issues that the elite propose. Okay, let's go one more thing. Guys, I'm trying to paint a picture here that what's happening under the surface is bigger and broader than what they are portraying on the outside. It's a big thing. Let me know if I'm landing that plane. Let's get to Piers Morgan, who also drops a few bombs on socialism. Listen to this, guys. This is not Republicans. They can't even get to their versus Republican stage. They're only going against Democrats. Listen to this.
But he's advising him, though, and he's a radical, too. And some of his radical Islamic ties, y'all experienced that in London as well.
Sure. So look, Obama, compared to Mamdani, is not radical. Let's be clear. If you look at Mamdani, the defund the police stuff that he was openly posting, you would have thought that would be a disqualifying thing for a mayor of New York City. You would just think if you call the NYPD a bunch of racists who have to be defunded, in other words, just stopped, you would think that person could never become the mayor. He's trying to pretend that he is, a nice little sheep. He's not. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Mm-hmm. He's a proper socialist who's going to whack people in New York. And the day of reckoning will come when he actually has to pay for all this stuff. And, there is nowhere in the world where you can point to where actual socialism over any sustained period has worked.
Okay. Here's Democrat 101 when it comes to media. If you hear something one time, you go, that's interesting. You hear something two times and on a short time frame, and you go, I've heard that before. And you hear it a third time in the same time frame, yeah, the memo went out. Start launching attacks against socialism. Democrat senators and House members. Start saying it has no future in our party. Start greasing the skids because we're about to backhand the crap out of these far left progressives who are costing us election time and money. Guys, that doesn't happen all the time, and I'm here to be your tour guide of freedom to show you exactly what's happening on the safari in the political landscape we call America, and that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.